Hello students, today we are here to discuss two important concepts of agricultural economics, marketed surplus as well as marketable surplus in agriculture. So before we start discussing with this two important topic, we would like to mention some important terms that we used in the discussion of this two concepts. The first is, since we are talking about agricultural economics, basically we are going to discuss producer surplus here. So we are going to take farmer as producer in this discussion, and again we will be using the term surplus in this discussion. Surplus is a concept that we study in agriculture, agricultural economics, that we take that if the actual requirement of a farmer is deducted from the total production and the remaining or the available production after deducting the requirement of the farmer is called surplus. We take it as surplus, and again we will be using the term farm population as well as non-farm population in this discussion, because whatever the production that is produced by the farmer is not consumed solely by the farming community themselves, but it is also consumed by the non-farm population when the extra produce is disposed to the market for sale. Having understood these terms, we move on to the actual concept that we are going to discuss today. The first is marketable surplus. So what is marketable surplus? This we are going to explain now. Marketable surplus is a theoretical concept which represents the surplus portion available to the producer. Here we take producer as farmer in our discussion for disposal to the market after deducting his own requirement. So in other words, marketable surplus is that portion of the harvest that a farmer can sell to the market to earn a profit. So normally marketable surplus is represented by a formula, a very simple formula. MS is equal to P minus C. So what does MS represent? MS is the marketable surplus and is the quantity actually available to the market and are to be consumed by the non-farm population. And what does P stands for? P stands for total production, that is net availability of the given crop of that particular year. And what does C represents? Yes, C is a very important part in this formula, that is C represents the genuine requirement of the farmer that is to be deducted from the total production. So this genuine requirement of the farmer includes family consumption, farm needs and other payments. Okay? For better understanding of this concept of marketable surplus, let us take an example. For example, if total production of a crop in a particular year is say 500 quintal and the total requirement of the farmer is 100 quintal. So what is the marketable surplus? Marketable surplus is the remaining amount from the total production after deducting the farmer's requirement. So if the requirement of the farmer is 100 quintal, then if we deduct 100 quintal from 500 quintal, that is the total production. So what is the remaining amount? The marketable surplus, 400 quintal. And I hope with this example you have understood what is the concept of marketable surplus. Marketed surplus, on the other hand, refers to the quantity of the produce that the farmers actually sell in the market, irrespective of the requirement for family consumption, farm needs and other payments. That means not only the part available for disposal, but the amount that has actually entered the market for sale is what we term as marketed surplus. So you've understood the difference between these two concepts of marketed surplus and marketable surplus. So marketed surplus is the amount that has already entered the market, and marketable surplus is the amount that is still in the hand of the farmer. Okay, this is the basic difference between these two concepts of marketable surplus and marketed surplus. So marketed surplus may be more or less or equal to the marketable surplus. So let us see the relationship between marketed and marketable surplus. Now we move on to discuss the relationship. So marketed surplus may be more or less or equal to the marketable surplus depending upon the condition of the farmers and the types of crops. So now let us take case 1. Case 1 where the marketed surplus is more than the marketable surplus. When does this situation arise? When marketed surplus is more than the marketable surplus. So this situation arises when the farmer retains a smaller quantity of the crop than his actual requirement for family and farm needs. So this situation holds true especially for small and marginal farmers whose land holding is very small and whose need for cash is more urgent and immediate as compared to the large farmers whose holdings of cultivable land is too large. Okay, this situation of selling more than marketable surplus is termed as distress or forced sale. This quantity of distressed sale increases with the fall in the price of the agricultural products. So a lower price means a larger quantity of goods will be sold to meet some fixed cash requirement. So please remember, marketed surplus when marketed surplus is more than marketable surplus, distress sale or forced sale always happen, because this situation is normally happen with small and marginal farmers. Okay, now let us consider case number 2. Case number 2 where marketed surplus is less than the marketable surplus. So when does this situation arises? This is the question. So this situation occurs when the farmer retains some of the surplus produce in their hands. So the situation holds true under one condition. So that means since large farmers hold large plot of land, they generally have more retention capacity as compared to the small and marginal farmers. That is why large farmers generally sell less than the marketable surplus because of their better retention capacity, which is done in the hope of getting higher prices in later periods, maybe at times up to the next production season. Immediately after the harvest, the price of their produce is not too high, but at the time up to the next production season, the price of their produce gradually increases. That is why these large farmers generally sell less than the marketable surplus and wait for the price to increase so that they dispose their produce at the time when price is high in the market. Now, another case is a condition where marketed surplus is equal to the marketable surplus. When does this situation arises? When farmers neither retain more nor less than his requirement. So can you give me an example? When does this condition arises? When marketed surplus is equal to the marketable surplus. It normally happens with perishable commodities. For example, vegetables. Vegetables cannot be kept for a long time. So in this situation, irrespective of the small and marginal farmers or large farmers, they have a tendency to dispose of in the market before it gets perished. So that is why in this condition the marketed surplus is equal to the marketable surplus. So, having considered case 1, 2 and 3, we have understood the relationship between marketed surplus and marketable surplus in agricultural economics. Now we move on to the next discussion on the factors affecting marketable surplus in agriculture. Now let us see what are the factors affecting marketable surplus in agriculture. So let us see the first point, that is size of holdings. So there is a positive relationship between size of holding and marketable surplus. Why? Because when size of holding increases, the productivity will be more, and obviously there will be more surplus, that is marketable surplus. That is why there is a positive relationship between size of holding and marketable surplus. Similarly, the relationship between production and marketable surplus. There is a positive relationship between production and marketable surplus. Why? When production increases, and automatically marketable surplus will also increase. That is why production and marketable surplus are positively related. Next, what about the size of the family? When the size of the family increases, there will be more members to consume and less marketable surplus. That is why there is a negative relationship between marketable surplus and size of the family. That is, when size of the family increases, there will be a fall in the marketable surplus. Next, another point is, another factor is what about the requirement of seeds and fertilizers. And here there is a negative relationship between marketable surplus and the requirement of seed and fertilizer. Why? Because when the expenditure on seed and fertilizer is high, then the surplus will be less. That is why when more amount of income is spent on input and the production remains the same, and obviously there will be a negative relationship between requirement of seed and fertilizer and marketable surplus, since the requirement of seed and fertilizers are comes into the arena of input. Let us see another factor, that is price of the commodity. So is the price of the commodity negatively related or positively related to marketable surplus? Yes, price of the commodity is the relationship depends on the farmer's expectation to the price. So when the farmer expects that the price of the commodity or the price of his products will increase in the future, he will not dispose of the products to the market, and that is why the marketable surplus is high. And when the farmer expects that the price will increase in the future, then there is a positive relationship between the price of the agricultural product and the marketable surplus. But in case the farmer expects that the price will fall in the future, he will want to dispose his agricultural products to the market immediately. So in this case, marketable surplus will be less, and price and marketable surplus will be negatively related. Now let us see another factor that affects the marketable surplus. What is that factor? Nature of the commodity. So marketable surplus for non-food crop is generally higher than that of the food crop. Why? Because in the case of non-food crop, family consumption is either very small part of the total output or negligible. For example, cotton, sugarcane, spices, oilseeds. In these crops, the farmers, household consumption is very less, and he will sometimes keep a very small amount of the produce for seed purposes, and that is why the marketable surplus for these non-food crop is generally higher. Okay, and apart from this, there are other factors like family size, then the income, risk and uncertainty, etc., that affect the marketable surplus. And I hope these two concepts of marketable surplus and marketed surplus are very important in determining the status of a farmer in the study of agricultural economics. Lastly, let us see some of the importance of the study of marketable surplus and marketed surplus in agricultural economics. The first point is, why do we study marketable surplus and marketed surplus in agricultural economics? Why? Because marketable surplus helps in determining the pace of economic development of a country. How? An increase in production must be accompanied by an increase in the marketable surplus. That is, the larger the production of a commodity, the greater the surplus of a commodity, and vice versa. And this really helps in determining the pace of economic development of a country. And again, the marketed surplus and marketable surplus help the policy makers and traders in areas like framing sound price policies, developing proper procurement and purchase strategies, and checking undue price fluctuations and advanced estimates of the surpluses, and then it also helps in development of transport and storage system. That is why the study of marketable surplus and marketed surplus play an important role in the study of agricultural economics. And I hope you have understood the concept of marketed and marketable surplus in agriculture. And if you want to view this video, please visit the college link or website for further detail. Thank you.